going on, everyone? This fight versus Kevin Shells. I'm Shells.
Kev, 8 Count Sports. A lot on my mind.
I know, right? Yo,
A lot
I
going
don't
on
blame you, bro.
within the last 24 hours.
Yo, a lot has changed in the last few hours. As you guys know, becoming UFC 294. And when I was asleep, it was it was Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira, the main event, and the co was my guy Hamzat Shemaya versus Paulo Costa. Now, Kev, tell us what's going on. What just happened?
Well, apparently, Charles Oliveira pulls out late night sparring, gets his eyes severely busted, has to pull out of the fight. Due to a headbutt. Okay, I didn't know that. Has to pull out of the fight. Now, they called Islam, according to Islam, at 5 a.m. in the morning, and he said, "I'll fight anybody." Just line him up.
According to Habib, if King Kong could come make weight, send him through. King Kong didn't answer the phone though. we got the next best thing. The next,
you know these
best
guys.
Thing.
Well, what they say? Send the address.
Send the address.
Send the address.
And it was sent to Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
He jumped. He was probably already in camp. I don't know. Until I saw, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm gonna give you my thoughts straight up before you even ask. Before I told you I was a little tight earlier. The reason why is before I saw the picture of the eye, which kind of like I was like, all right, whatever. Before that, Oliveira, after his last fight against Dariush, you said he that made him the official superstars. They asked him after the fight, and he signed. I remember it was in the press conference. He sounded not keen on fighting in October. Didn't seem keen on fighting in October.
See if that was a cop out.
Yo, you heard Islam? Well, I'm not even gonna go into that.
Nah, tell us. Go.
Well, I saw it. Well, the cut is out. We've seen the picture, so it's real. I mean, I'm not saying it's a cop out. I'm saying my initial feelings was, oh man, and I'm like, man, what was going on? And then Volk is in the gym all day. You know, these guys get wind of stuff. I was thinking to myself, come on. This is UFC putting what's his name back to the wall at first until I saw the cut and this, that, and the fifth. I'll tell you one thing. Islam was talking and he said something towards the lines of, yeah, I know Volk is going to come to fight. Oliveira is a dude. Basically said he's ready to quit.
He said he thought of the same narrative basically that he had in the first fight.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? You put a body on him, you give him a little resistance, he ready to quit. He said that, not word for word, but bro, that it was along those lines. I'm like, wow. So he basically think Oliveira just copped out.
I mean, what I could say is Islam Volkanovski fight is a bigger matchup than the rematch against Oliveira.
Is it though? You
said that is.
Well, let me ask you from this perspective. You said that Oliveira was a superstar.
Correct.
Using your words.
Correct.
So seeing Islam fight the superstar again, I mean, because according to you and a lot of people, Volkanovski is underrated.
Yeah.
He's underappreciated, underrated. So I mean, if that's the narrative, if that's the case, why would you want to see the person that's underrated fight against a guy that's as opposed to the superstar? This guy putting butts in his feet.
The implications. The fight between the first matchup between Islam and Volkanovski was way more controversial and way more closer than the fight against Islam and Oliveira.
Disputed.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I rewatched it and I definitely said that Islam won that one. He did win that one.
Disputed. Yeah, not
so I don't think it was disputed. It was a win for him. But I would say the fight was closer. The fight was way closer though. The fight was way closer. And you gotta understand.
So watching it the second time, you felt it was closer than you did.
No. It was a close. No, watching it, period, it's a close fight. But what I'm saying is, watching the second time made me say, like, the first time I saw it, I felt it was a toss up, and I felt that whoever the judges selected as the winner, I'd have been fine with. But when I watched it the second time, I said they couldn't have picked anyone else but Islam.
Right.
But it was still a very close fight.
Competitive.
And you gotta understand, if if Alex pulls this off, he'll be a champ. That's still an exciting. Even though we had a few champs so far, that is still something that's like a coveted. Yeah, it's a very coveted position to be in. So especially to do that in Islam's backyard right now, it'd be an even bigger spectacle. And at this point, Islam is such a big, like, Khabib and Islam are probably the biggest Muslim athletes in the world, which is why whenever they have their fights, it's always in Abu Dhabi, and they always change the whole schedule of the main events for those guys. It's at 2 p.m. over here in New York. When we usually wait till 10 p.m. for a fight to happen, no matter who's fighting, where they're fighting. Exactly.
Time zone. Yeah, no matter
what time. So that means in England, these guys got to for like 3 in the morning to see this fight.
Yeah.
In Abu Dhabi, that whole thing changed. And you gotta understand, the UFC has so much invested in that part of the world. In Abu Dhabi, they're partners with those guys over there, basically.
Yeah.
They built a whole facility for them. When COVID hit, that was one of the only places where they could actually have live events with a actual crowd. Yeah. So even though Oliveira is definitely, he's a bigger star than I would even say he's probably a bigger star than Islam worldwide. Outside the Muslim world, I'll say Oliveira is a bigger star than Islam. Okay. And I would say, and what evidence I could bring about is we brought about when I said this after his Dariush fight.
Yeah.
When that Canadian crowd was giving him the warm welcome as if he was in Brazil. Yeah. He asked him, "Who's the real champ?" Here's a guy who lost decisively against this very dude, and then could still say, "Who's the real champ?" and the crowd is backing him. So I would say outside the Muslim world, he's a bigger superstar than both those guys. But because of where Islam is fighting and who Islam is, that star power doesn't matter. Because the way he's fighting negates that. So at that point is, what would be the bigger fight for Islam? That's really, Islam is one of those dudes where he's such a star where he is that you just gotta give him the better fight, and that will make the bigger show. So yes, Oliveira is the bigger star, but the Islam Volkanovski fight is still the bigger fight, bro. Okay. Just because of all those implications. So it's crazy how we lose one guy, we get the bigger fight. Here's my question to you though. This is 11-day short notice. Do you think this will affect Volkanovski's performance? And if Volkanovski loses this time, do you think Islam will get the full credit for beating Volkanovski that was on top of his game?
That's what the question DC asked to Islam as well. Is this like a walk-in excuse? He kind of posed that to him as well. I think that's a great point. In the UFC, these guys, they'll have them fight again and again and again. That's my belief.
You think they'll have them fight again? If Volk loses a second time in a row.
Not right away, but yeah. I can see that happening. I feel like this is an advantage for Volk. The reason why I think that the short notice is an advantage for Volk, which sounds crazy, but he strikes me as a person that's always in shape. Yeah. And he strikes me, and I would think the 145 would be closer to his walk around weight as opposed to coming back down to featherweight. And I get the inkling that he was that. I just get the impression that he was ready for this. I don't think
even 155 is more his walk around weight.
I don't think he would have jumped and took this fight if he wasn't 1,000% sure he could have beat it. I don't think you would throw that away. You know what I mean? Because this is his opportunity to basically say, because there's so much people that actually feel that he won the first fight. This is his opportunity to correct the score in a sense. To say, because if he wins this fight, especially decisively, it would overshadow, almost like the Max fights. All of those fights was close, but the way he won the last fight, everybody's just like, yo, he just nobody even brings it up. That the other fights will raise the close. Nobody brings this up. So I think this is an opportunity to kind of clear the air, or this is an opportunity to kind of do that. I know he's I get the strong feeling that he's prepared for this, that he probably was looking just in case, because to me, Oliveira, Remember how I mentioned Stipe before? Like I got the feeling he gonna put. Oliveira was giving more hints from Jump Street, from the jump that this could happen. It's just when this fight got made, I just seen the poster. It was like sudden. I don't know. It was like a bunch of fights got announced, and this was one of them. It was out of the blue. I was like, then Oliveira. I think Volk is ready for this fight. I just feel like he's ready for the fight. He was ready just in case. He probably was fighting. He just seems like a dude, bro, that this is his life.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
He's just sitting around with a bowl of soup. What? We a
bowl of ever seen them cartoons where they just eat a bowl of steel taxi, just like
we right on schedule. He ready to rock. Islam is preparing for a whole different fighter, bro. In size, in style, in everything. He may have had supreme confidence that he was, because I think he had supreme confidence that he would have waxed Oliveira. That's my honest opinion. I get that impression from him. Like, I waxed him before. Is nothing gonna be nothing different. But with Volkanovski established in the first fight, as confident as Islam may look, he established
a problem.
This fight. Yes, I'm a tough out, and I could give you all you can handle more than anybody else you ever faced. Even though we think Islam won the fight, it's there, bro. And you got a week to train. Volk lost the fight. He's the one that's been thinking since the night of the fight. He was sitting there talking about, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that. Islam wasn't thinking about that. He think he got Oliveira coming up for the last 2 months. This turnaround, I think I'm gonna go into my prediction.
Yeah, I was about to say, yo, we here.
Right into it. I got Volkanovski by decision, yo.
Upset special?
To you. It ain't an upset to me. The circumstances don't make this an upset to me. That's what negates the whole upset situation, the circumstances. And when both of them are going to have an excuse, I think Islam's excuse is going to be more valid than Volk's excuse. Because if Volk loses, the fact that he already fought him twice already will kind of, as you were saying early, they can still fight again, but it will push it off. Like, nobody's even going to be looking for it. You got Gaethje, it's going to be time for the rest of the lightweight division. Nobody's going to be checking for that for right now. But if Islam loses, he was just a champ. He beat him the first time. I think he has. But here's the weird things get tricky. I think Oliveira is going to find himself back into the picture before there's even another rematch, bro.
Of course. That's a definite. No, that's a definite.
And that's where it is.
No, that's a definite. Whoever wins this, Oliveira's up next. He's up next regardless. He's up next regardless. I get the impression that that's there. But I got by decision. I got vote by decision. That's written in stone for Oliveira. Okay. I like that prediction. So this is what I'm about to say about that one. I'm going to stand on my mantra. To beat the champ, you have to beat the champ. And I don't see Volk beating the champ. It's going to be a very close fight. It may be even closer than the last fight. I see it being even closer than the last fight. But when you leave it in the hands of those judges, in Islam's backyard, bruh, I'm gonna give Volk this split decision win for Islam.
Okay, all right.
That's what I got.
Both got decisions, opposite sides.
Yeah.